All right, let's go ahead and commence with the regular order of the agenda for the village board. Item 1, item 2 have been completed. Let's move on to item 3, entertain a motion for the approval of the 10-7 village board meeting minutes and file the 8/26/2019 joint library board, the 9/9 board of public works, 9/10 public safety committee meeting minutes as presented.
Make a motion.
Second.
Motion second, comments, questions on the minutes? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion passes. Move on to item 4. Anybody in the audience wishing to be heard on a non-agenda item? Non-agenda. Let's move on to item 5. Any items that were presented in the normal fashion? Let's move on to item 6. Resolutions, ordinance, action items. Item A, I entertain a motion to table to a future date.
I'll make the motion to table.
I'll second.
Motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion passes. Move on to item B. Report of the Board of Public Works. We have 3 items. Where is my report of the Board of Public Works? Do you have one? You didn't seem to make any change, unless this is it here. Ah, there it is. Item 1 is a motion to reallocate $30,000 of contingency funds to the Stormwater Management Contractual Services account in order to fund this necessary emergency construction project this fall. Be approved.
Make the motion.
Second.
And it's the public parking lot by Slowpoke. Everybody should be aware, hopefully is aware of that project. Motion is second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Item 2 is a motion to approve the storm drain painting project to be completed by the Community Rivers Program in North Shore Academy of the Arts, contingent upon location and sketch approval by the Director of Public Works. Be approved.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
I was going to say something to the credentials of Amber being the art critic, but we'll just have to let her know. Motion is second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That motion passes. And item 3 is a resolution approving city's 2019 for the acceptance of the sanitary sewer and water main in the Town Place Suites development be adopted.
I'll offer.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Offer motion, second. Comments, questions on that item?
I have a question.
Mhm.
So this is for the Town Place Suites, and the developer paid there for the sewer and water? Correct?
Sorry.
Yeah.
I was looking
Oh,
at
sorry. Is the developer is not paying for the sewer and water for Riverbend, is that right?
They're paying for the sewer and water within their development.
Within the development, correct, okay. And same for Bluestem,
Correct.
okay, thank you.
I'm going to make a comment. To be consistent with my vote at the Board of Public Works meeting, I voted nay to this resolution only because the sewer was not televised as far as we know, and whether or not it was in our standard specs at the time, I have to believe it was in the developer's agreement, and if it was not, and I'm assuming it was not done, so I'm going to vote no on this one.
Does someone need to throw in at some point? Not-
Yeah, it's something that wasn't in our specs at that time, so we didn't require it. I don't believe it was in development agreement as well, so we did not televise it. That's something we've been doing for the last couple of years, but.
So it wasn't in the developer agreement, it wasn't in the expectations.
Are you sure it wasn't in the developer's agreement?
I'm pretty positive, but I can check.
I'm 95% sure.
Yeah.
It wasn't.
It was not, yeah. We could definitely start adding that in.
Okay.
I'm just thinking because our previous administrator was pretty diligent about putting that in developer's agreement. But,
All right.
All right,
You can take
anyways.
it offline. All right, offer motion, a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
nay.
Joe, one nay. Let's move on to item 7, department and officers reports. We have entertained a motion for approval of 2 individuals their places of employment are identified. Oh, I'm sorry, that's licenses. We'll come back to department and officers reports. That's licenses. Entertain that motion.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Motion is second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion passes. Let's go back to department and officers reports. We have a few here left. Anybody have any questions for them? Anything they wish to pass back to the board? All right, let's move on to item 9.
Can we ask a question?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna ask a question of Mike. The errors and omissions letter, I mean, we've been talking about it at Public Works for 2 months now. Has it been completed and it's sent out?
It's going out tomorrow.
Okay, perfect, thank you.
Okay, any other questions? All right, let's move on to item 9, report of the bills. Entertain a motion for the approval of village expenditures, $803,311.98.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Motion is second, questions on the bills?
I have one.
Okay.
Page 2 of the second batch for the MasterCard, at the end, underpaid from last month's invoice, $885.64 to account cash pool.
Page 2 of the second batch.
Yeah, because the first batch is page 1, 2, and 3, and then second batch is 1 and 2, MasterCard corporate.
Question for Paul, is what you're saying?
Yes, I'm not sure what the finance cash pooled nomenclature stands for, frankly. So I will verify what that is exactly and report back.
Okay, thank you.
On page 2
Of,
on trustee 2, which should be the third batch. This, the bottom, CDW government, is this a new Apple iPad or for fire protection?
Yes, that would have been new equipment,
Okay.
New equipment or replacement
or
equipment?
replacement equipment.
Okay.
Excuse me, you're correct, yeah.
And also on page 6 for Grace Lutheran Church, refund for overbilling. We seem to have a lot of that lately.
Yes, what we have run into, I'm fairly certain this is one of those issues where they went to the website to pay a utility bill. For whatever reason, also paid it in person, and so therefore there was a refund. We've unfortunately did have a rash of that as we've made the public education outreach to really get it out there to utilize that web payment, but unfortunately we've seen a handful of people make that payment online and then come into the office and pay the bill in person. Whether it's one family member versus the other, or simply not trusting that it went through electronically, it's something we have seen, but regardless, what I will do is, I believe that's what that is. I will verify that and report back to the board.
I can add, in addition to that, I believe there's been an issue there with their meter readings for some time. We've been working on solving them, and so we may have finally solved kind of an issue that's been going on for some time and figured out that calculation.
Other questions on the bills? Hearing none, motion second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion passed. Item 10, entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Motion is second, all in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned. Thank you all very much.